Hi everyone, it's Polly from pollynoble.com. Welcome. Today we're talking about stress. My clients have been talking about the fact that they know that they need to be less stressed and be calmer and find peace within and all that sort of stuff, but which we do, but it's very, very hard in this day and age where we have so many things that we come up against on a daily basis with the to-do lists and work and things that happen. People cut us up on the motorway. We have to worry about how we're going to pay our bills next month, whatever it might be for you. We all have, I think, some kind of degree of stress. So it's about learning how to manage that and what you can do in your daily life to reduce the amount of stress that you encounter. So, I mean, the stress is actually really, really bad, obviously not only on the mental side of things, but on the physical body, because it promotes something called inflammation within the body. And inflammation is the cause of most, if not all, chronic diseases. Inflammation is actually the site at which allows disease to sort of take hold and really depletes the immune system, making you more susceptible to illness, whether it be a cold or something more serious. So it's really, really important to manage the stress and try and find balance within the body, mentally, physically and emotionally. So when you encounter stress, the best thing to do is to be able to release those emotions. The worst thing you can do is swallow those emotions back down, because they actually get stored in the cell memory. All of our cells have a memory, and the more negative cells we have stuck in our body, the tighter and the unhappier we're going to be, and those cells actually begin to fester and can manifest into quite serious illnesses. So it's important to be able to let go of the emotion. If someone annoys you, fine, let it out, move on, don't hold on to it, because that's the worst thing you can do. So whether that be going into a kickboxing class, running through the forest and screaming, whether it be journaling, or whether it be punching a pillow, whatever it is, do what's right for you, providing it doesn't hurt anybody else. But it's important to get the emotion out so it's not festering inside of your body, because that's the worst scenario. One of the studies that I read about recently is where Dr. Pennebaker, I think his name was, he wrote how a study showed that people who wrote about whatever was upsetting them, the anger, the frustration, the sadness, whatever it was that they experienced, actually their mental state and their ability to cope with that was actually improved, having written about it continuously for 4 days straight. So that is maybe something that you can try to apply to any situation in your life that you're struggling to cope with. The second thing is to remember to take time for yourself. You know, we are so busy. People have families and friends and hectic social lives and work lives. You know, our days are constantly packed from the moment we get up to the moment we go to bed, and we rarely ever take any time for us. So even if it's just 5 minutes, and if you're on the bus, you know, on the way to work, just take some time to really check in with your body, because it's very rare that we listen to our body and really connect with how it's feeling. And it's not until you do that you think, oh, I'm actually feeling a bit achy in my knee today, or I'm feeling really good, or yeah, I'm not feeling as energetic as I should be. And then it's when we listen to our body that we can then make the changes to improve our health and happiness. But it's when we ignore those symptoms or those messages that our bodies are giving us, that's when we get into a bit of trouble. So it's really, really important to take those 5 minutes, longer if you can, but 5 minutes bare minimum, just to sit on your own in complete silence, no distractions. And I know that's really hard for some people, because it's like, okay, what do I do? Turn the mobile phone off and just have 5 minutes on your own. How often do you do that? It's probably quite rare. So do try and do that so you can really connect with yourself. And it's important not only for your physical state, but your mental state, just to have silence. Okay, the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about was how you manage your day in terms of the stress. If you're finding that you've got a lot of, you're running out of time, one of the things you can do to reduce the amount of stress is always try and allow a little bit extra time. If you're always running late, then if you allow some more time for every single thing that you do, then hopefully that will reduce the stress. Because if you, for example, you know, allow 15 minutes to get somewhere and it actually takes you half an hour, you're sitting in traffic and you're stressing about the fact that you're late for your meeting and then you haven't done this and you haven't got that, you know, it all adds. So if you try and plan ahead, give yourself more time, relax, breathe, and really just try and, you know, take it easy. And I think the other important thing is to to really live in the moment, which is one of the things that I am constantly teaching and also learning myself, because it is hard to, not play over situations and scenarios in your head that have gone on in the past. That I think we've all got something, whether it be some kind of crisis, or even just something minor where we had an argument, an altercation, or just a situation where we felt really uncomfortable and we made us feel guilty or shameful or whatever it might be. Do you know what? It's not serving you. Let it go. Learn the lesson that it was there to teach you, and let it go, because it's dragging you down. It's dragging your physical and your emotional and your mental state, and it's not serving you today. These things happen and we learn the lesson, but we then need to move on. So there is anything that you're still playing over in your head, write it down, let it go, and move on. Yesterday is gone, tomorrow is not yet here, today is the only moment we have. So it's really, really important to be present, to be grateful for what we have, to really look at our lives as a sort of from a point of reality. We can play over and over and over these situations that we wish had have been different. But how do you know their situation wasn't supposed to be like that? And it's our story about what we tell ourselves that is actually the painful thing about that thing, if that makes sense. It's much better and easier to accept the reality of what was, rather than to keep on going over what woulda, shoulda, coulda. Do you know what? It's done. Move on. Okay. So remember to breathe, relax, allow yourself more time, and allow the emotions to come out of you. You don't want to push them all back down again. Alright, so until next time, take care, lots of love, goodbye.